أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. We have been together for the past 15 days and it has been a blessing for me. I do not see myself fitting in the descriptions my beloved and respected brother mentioned. It's a duty of mine to be here, and one of the reasons out of other many that I chose to come to this masjid, I accepted the invitation, the warm invitation from this masjid, was that I said this: I smell the light, or I see the light of our Imam of time in this masjid. I don't know what has been going on here. I don't know who has stepped here, but if we smell, we can feel that there is a special light in this center. So that is something that attracts all of us to here and brings us all under this roof. So more than it's your what you do is not your duty, the fact that you thank me and all the appreciations that I don't deserve, on the other hand, I see myself owing an appreciation and thank to each and every one of you, especially those behind the stages and those who were not seen, who did not come to the site, for all of the things they did in order for these programs to, inshallah, to be held, and inshallah more to come in the future. But forgive me if the things I said was repetitive. If those were not new, forgive me. If I could have tried more and said ahadith and verses of the Holy Quran that would apply to you more, I would have been more happy. One of the brothers, by one of these iftar nights by the table, he said, Hajj, how do you like the food? And I said, the food is great, but I should ask you, how do you like the lectures? How are you benefiting from the lectures? Are they beneficial to you? Are they applicable? Do you feel yourself? Do you see yourself connecting or not? So if any shortcomings, if anything with the recitations or lectures, if they got too much of your time, forgive me and accept my seeking of halaliyat, in Farsi we say. So forgive me, and inshallah we will reunion either in this dunya or the hereafter. No one knows what comes in the next second. On the day of Eid al-Fitr, as you all heard, there was a car that caught fire, and it took that car only 5 seconds. I mean, less than 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, less than 5 minutes to be completely burnt out. And I thought of our a'mal during the month of Ramadan. We might have done so much. We might have stayed up till Laylatul Qadr, acquired so much nur and light. And after Eid al-Fitr, all of our a'mal face habt amal, which is like the catching of fire. And the fire, brothers and sisters, is very scary. It's no joke. It's very serious. And those moments, because it's close by, when I saw the fire, I was like, you know what? This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when in Quran addressing ittaqun nar, maybe it's because the fire is the most scary thing out there to us. If you see it closely, it's no joke. And then all these du'as of the month of Ramadan says, Ya Allah, waj'alni min utaqa'ika minan nar, free us from the hellfire. So there are a couple lessons that we got from that incident. And the last one was when the fire department, when the fire truck, the firefighters arrived. The main person who was taking care of putting down the fire was a lady. she was working hard. She was fighting with the fire fearlessly. And I said it as a joke to one of the brothers who was there. I said, all the wives should be like this. They should set off the fires that they see in their lives. The same applies to the brothers as well. Be like this. Don't ignite the fires that are out there in your families. Put them down. Put extinguisher on those and turn them off. One of the things that really causes lack of tawfiq, that kills our motivation to recite dua, that takes away our humbleness in du'as, is having arguments, useless arguments at home. Try to avoid that. Say to your wife, brothers, say to your spouses and sisters, say this to your husband. If you disrespect me, or if you say anything rude to me, I won't respond to you. I just won't respond to you. And it takes a lot of practice. It's going to take a lot of practice, but it's possible. Extinguish the fires in your life. A good spouse, a good husband, and a good wife would do this. So in the dua of the qunut of the salat of Eid al-Fitr, there are a couple of things that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the end of the month of Ramadan. And you repeat this dua for 9 times. Allahumma inni as'aluka an tudkhilani fi kulli khayrin adkhalta fiha Muhammadan wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I ask you, O Allah, to enter me upon all the good that the Prophet and his pure progeny entered upon. Can we even think of all the good? Is there any limit to it? We can't think of it. Allahumma as'aluka an tudkhilani fi kulli khayrin adkhalta fiha Muhammadan wa ala Muhammad. And by the completion of the month of Ramadan, وَأَن تُخْرِجَنِي مِن كُلِّ سُوءٍ أَخْرَجْتَ مِنْهُ مُحَمَّدًا وَآلَ مُحَمَّدٍ. You know what Ala Muhammad is? Please recite another salawat. Salla ala Muhammad. Ayatollah Mir Bagheri says, this man, this knowledgeable man, this great scholar of our time, Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Mahdy Mir Bagheri, he says that when you recite salawat, when you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad, this ala Muhammad is not only limited to the 12th Imam and Lady Fatima al-Zahra sallallahu alayha. You are sending a blessing to them and to all the true followers of the Holy Prophet throughout the entire history. That is why salawat is elevating you. How many people are you sending peace and blessings upon? Countless. Can we become Ala Muhammad? Question. If Salman, an ordinary man, could have become minna ahlul bayt, did they say only Salman, innama Salmanu minna ahlul bayt faqat wa bas? Did they say that? Only Salman is one of our ahlul bayt and that's it? They never said that. They said Salmanu minna ahlul bayt. This is the goal. You can become minna ahlul bayt. I can become minna ahlul bayt. So that every time someone recites a salawat, it's as if they send peace and blessings to us as well as the followers of the Holy Prophet, as the family of the Holy Prophet. The pain is here, brothers and sisters. We have chosen not to be Salman. It's by our own will. We have chosen this. If there's something that you have no control over, there's no regret. tried my best, and my child was born with certain illness, a congenital illness. For example, you didn't have a choice over it. No anything. There's no regret. But I chose not to be Salman. I have chosen not to be a friend of our Imam of time. And we think that the story of Allama Hilli and Shaykh Mufid and all of them and Ayatollah Bahjat, it only belongs to a certain group of people. That there's a limit. If they can do it, that means we can do it too. Or I should say this, if they did it, we should do it too. My question is this: why don't we have such an ambition? Why is this out of the list of our ambitions? The same way it has been recommended not to have long material dreams, the same way it's been said and recommended to have long spiritual dreams and ambitions. Why are we hopeless? Hopelessness is a big sin. Al-Fajiru Raji, a sinner who is hopeful to the mercy of Allah and to the forgiveness of Allah, is better than someone who is practicing yet is hopeless. Ma'ayus. We were talking about the 31st letter of Nahj Al-Balagha. I try to keep it within the 20 minutes so that you guys don't get tired of me. And you won't say to Dr. Mohsen Shraghi that this brother is going for so long, so let's forget about Muharram. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam says, Wa'lam ya bunayya. Know this. This letter is almost 10 pages long, based on what font they use to print, but almost the font of this book 10 pages, so it's pretty long. Imam says, Wa'lam ya bunayya. Know this, be aware. Anna rizqa rizqan, that your sustenance is in two types. Rizqun, a sustenance, a provision. Tatlubuhu, that you go after, obtaining it, gaining it, finding it. You go to work to get paid. You go out to your business to sell, trade, whatever. You go after it. And you know that by the end of the month, certain amount is what you have to receive or what you have to get. This is rizqun tatlubuh, something that you want. And rizq, as we said, it's not confined and limited to material rizq. Sometimes when we say rizq, we only think of money, dollars. Your health is your rizq. A good spouse is a good rizq. Good parents, it's your rizq. Good friends is your rizq. Being able to come to the masjid is a rizq. Being able to use and utilize your month of Ramadan is a rizq. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to thank Him. We have to express our gratitude to Him in practice, in action. Imam says, Ya Hassan, my dear beloved Hassan, there are two types of rizq. One is the one that you go after, and the other one is more interesting. وَرِزْقٌ يَتْلُبُكْ. Rizqun tatlubu, those who know Arabic, a rizq, a sustenance that you go after, and rizqun yatlubuk, a sustenance that comes after you and finds you. فَإِنْ أَنْتَ Lam ta'atihi atok. Even if you don't go after it, it'll come to you. You recite Ziyarat Ashura, all of a sudden your heart breaks. You start shedding tears for our beloved Imam Hussein alayhi salam. You remember how much you miss Karbala. This itself is a rizq. This itself, this moment, the feeling that you have is a rizq. And such feeling is so valuable that it can change you. Sometimes we take things for granted, or most of the times we do, until we lose them. Health, usually we take it for granted, right? The first night we get the first tooth pain, and then we are looking after the faithful dentist that we have, mashallah. Then we know the blessing of the salama, of the health. Iman and faith is something that you have it here. You might not know the value of it, but go and ask those who are new to Islam. Ask them to tell you their experience. Let them compare the before and after. It is incomparable. And Imam continues, Ya Hassan, ما أقبح الخضوع عند الحاجة والجفاء عند الغنى. Don't have any of this in your heart. What is more ugly? What is more detesting than khudu, humbleness, and al-haja? You need something, you become khade, you become polite, you become respectful. قربونت برم، دوست دارم، فداتون بشم. And then والجفاء عند الغنا. And then you oppress them once you're done. Then Imam says on another note, if you want to know someone, do this. Either make them completely hopeless of gaining what they want from you, or grant them their request right away. Have you got these advertising phone calls from these companies? Hello, sir. How's your day going? In the nicest possible tune. You feel that you have found your lost sibling, like the Indian movies, Bollywood movies. They act so warm. We have this special offer for you. And you say, no, thank you. And all of a sudden, everything changes. That same person becomes the driest person on the face of the earth. They're there for the business. Thank you for being honest. Sometimes it's vice versa. You grant them what they need and they change. We had a friend, we had an online Dua Kumail circle a long time ago, in 2010-ish. And many of the brothers who did not have an access to an Islamic facility in their cities, we were all joining online. Back in the day, the platform was Yahoo Messenger. It's outdated now. And everyone was coming there. We were reciting Dua Kumail with our computers and laptops, whatever. And there was one of the brothers who went missing. We were worried and concerned for him. So I looked after him. I called him. He said, you know what, brother? My haja was to get married. I found a good wife. Seems like he didn't see the need to come and to recite Dua Kumail anymore. ما أقبح الخضوع عند الحاجة. How ugly is this? What is uglier than this? الخضوع عند الحاجة والجفاء عند الغنى. إن لك من دنياك ما أصلحت به من مثواك. Whatever you want to take from this dunya, see the hereafter. Test it and see, will this build and construct my hereafter or not? If not, leave it alone. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala satisfied with me or not? Because His satisfaction is one of the things that we need in the hereafter. Think about the currency of the hereafter. If you want to travel to Europe, you make sure you exchange your dollars into euro. You want to go to Iran, you make sure that you exchange your money to the currency. The currency of akhirah, the currency of hereafter is amal salih. Right deed in the right time under the guidance of the Imam. Make sure you exchange what you have to the currency of hereafter. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, on your own, spend some time on this Nahj Al-Balagha. My humble request from you, if I have any haqq on your burden for being here before you on these nights, is my only request is don't abandon Nahj Al-Balagha. Spend time with it. If you don't want to read anything off Nahj Al-Balagha, read letter 31. Read it on your own. Read a paragraph a day. Read a line a day. Think about the word of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And this is one of the ways to become Minna Ahlul Bayt. It's to listen to the words. Why Salman became Minna Ahlul Bayt? Why did he become one of the Ahlul Bayt? Based on the definition and description of Rasulullah. It's because he took in their commands. He was a true companion. Same applies to the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala. When you go to read their ziyarah in Karbala, you say, As-salamu alayka ya ansara Rasulullah. Some of these individuals, some of these figures who became shaheed on the plains of Karbala, they were not even born in the time of Rasulullah. Some of them, the younger ones, they were not there. And then you call them Ansara Rasulullah, all the companions and the helpers of Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Ansara Amir al-Mu'mineen. Where were you in Medina? None of you were there. Assalamu alaikum ya Ansar Fatima al-Zahra. The helpers of Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha. Where were they in the streets of Medina to help? They weren't there. The only way to become Minna Ahlul Bayt is to listen to the word. And listening to the word yields in our prosperity in dunya and hereafter, insha'Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. رب أدخلني مدخل الصدق وأخرجني مخرج الصدق واجعلني من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. This month of Ramadan had passed. There is no guarantee that we are going to see the next Ramadan. Oh Allah, forgive us if we couldn't fast to the as it was due or as it was the right of fasting. حق روزه رو اگر نتوانستیم به جا بیاریم ما رو عفو بفرما. حق نماز رو حق شب قدر رو اگر نتوانستیم به جا بیاریم از ما ببخش. Oh Allah, make us believe that our sustenance is there. No one can take it away from us except us ourselves. Oh Allah, help us refrain from doing things that will limit our sustenance, the material sustenance and the spiritual sustenance. Oh Allah, hasten in the return and the reappearance of our Imam of time. For the health and well-being of yourself and your families, please recite a salawat.